Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, respected members of Agrawal community and our esteemed guests. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this vibrant gathering of Akhil Bhartiya Agrawal Sammelan's business meet. As the director of this initiative and the National Secretary of Akhil Bhartiya Agrawal Sammelan, I am deeply honored to stand before such a distinguished audience of visionaries, achievers, and leaders. This business meet is not just an event. It is a platform, an idea born out of the collective wisdom of our community. Over the last 2 years, this forum has witnessed remarkable success stories, inspiring collaborations, and bonds that extend far beyond businesses. The format of the business meet is simple but impactful. The journeys and perspective of our speakers promise to inspire us all, offering strategies and solutions we can take back home. In today's fast-paced world, success is rarely achieved in isolation. It is built on relationships, knowledge sharing, and trust. The Agrawal community has always been synonymous with entrepreneurship and innovation. But what sets us apart is the ability to stand together and create opportunities, not just for ourselves, but for the generations to come. This business meet is a celebration of this spirit. It is a space where ideas meet opportunities, where partnerships are born, and where each one of us can find inspiration to grow, contribute, and excel. But for this platform to thrive, it needs your active participation. We need to share our experiences and expertise with others and be open to collaborations that can drive mutual growth. We should take time to mentor and support the younger members of our community who are just starting their journeys. And today I see a lot of younger generation in the crowd, which we are very happy about and which we were looking forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make this business meet not just another event, but a milestone of collaboration and progress for our community. Thank you for your presence, your energy, and your commitment to this vision. Together, let us pave the way for even greater success. I am honored to invite our first speaker for today, Mr. Amit Agrawal, who is the CFO of Raymond's Group. I take this privilege to introduce him today. Mr. Amit Agrawal is a seasoned finance professional with over 33 years of extensive experience, spanning the steel, aviation, retail, real estate, and energy sectors. He has held the management position in leading organizations across the world, including JSW Steel, Jet Airways, SR Group, and ArcelorMittal. Amit Agrawal has a proven track record of working with large corporations where he has facilitated transformative turnarounds, steering businesses towards profitability and sustainability. He is a chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and cost accountant from the Institute of Cost and Works Accountant, ICWA. Further enhancing his expertise, he has completed the CFO as a strategic partner executive program at the Wharton School, Pennsylvania. Since joining Raymond's Limited in 2020 as Group CFO, during one of the organization's most challenging phases, that is during COVID time, sir, Amit Agrawal has demonstrated remarkable leadership and strategic foresight. Under his guidance, Raymond transitioned from a heavily indebted entity with a market cap of rupees 1,600 crores to a net debt-free organization, achieving a market capitalization of 25,000 plus crores, which is almost 15 times in just 4 years. His contributions have earned him numerous prestigious accolades, including the Economic Times CFO of the Year Award, and very recently awarded as Indian CFO Icon of the Year 2024, underscoring his excellence in financial leadership and strategic management. I call on stage the one and only Mr. Amit Ji Agrawal. You are welcome. And I also ask our National Senior Vice President, Dr. Rajendra Ji, to come on the stage. Mr. Ajay Agrawal. And please felicitate Amit Ji with a trophy. Amit Ji, the mic is all yours, and I would love that you guide the audience with your expertise and experience.
Thank you, Sumanji. Thank you, Rajenji, Ajayji, for bringing me or giving me this opportunity to stand before this august audience and talk and share a little bit my experiences. And I believe that we as a community have a phenomenal opportunity, no, have a phenomenal opportunity at all times, and especially in our country, when we are going through such a phase where possibilities are immense. It is just the question of which one you can grab and how do you grab that opportunity. So before we get into that, I want to give a little bit background. Who am I? Though she talked a lot about my professional, but I think as a community, as a brethren of all of you, I should share. I come from Prayagraj, which is a small town in UP. Father, with a humble background, I did study, came to Calcutta to study CA, ICWA, and then got bit fortunate that I joined the ArcelorMittal group in Mexico when it was just 1 million ton and not even $1 billion facility. And I worked with them for 17 years. And when I left that organization, I was posted in Europe. And my business, when I was CFO of that business, was itself a $10 billion. And the group became a $100 billion group. Thank you. So the journey has been immense. And I think the conviction which Mr. Mittal instilled in all of us was very simple, that there can't be any business which cannot be turned around. And you know, he has been famous for buying companies from the government at a very, very difficult spot. And obviously, he didn't have money. So I'll give you an example. When we bought the Mexico company, it was bought for $450 million. $395 million was the loan from the government. $5 million, he was living in Indonesia. He borrowed from one of the banks. And a $50 million, he told one of his closest cousin that you give a bank guarantee. So effectively, you think taking a big exposure in a country and practically with no money, and we all went there, and within a span of 7 8 months the company became cash positive. So what I want to say is bring a similar analogy that that point of time nobody knew Mr. Mittal, and many of you sitting here who have succeeded well in your life, and when you talked about the younger people, I want to say that, and the reason why I gave this example, that we should be fearless. Because one, we have an opportunity. And the best part within Agrawal community is that we are entrepreneurial. I think it runs in our blood. And that is something which we need to really take it on and use the opportunity. And there is people support. I want to give one more thing, that it is always heard, and many of you have heard, to earn the first million is the most difficult one. But many of the young people sitting out here, at least are fortunate, their father or their grandfather has built such a business where that first million is almost given. Now it is upon us as individuals, young people, to say that how do I take this 1 million to a 10 million to a 100 million. And I think we are very, very fortunate to be living at this time in India where you can touch any business, anything, the middle class. I'll give you a simple example. We have been evaluating one business where the shirt is sold for 399 rupees. Imagine none of us would be buying up a shirt for 399. And that person buys that shirt for 240 rupees. And he puts up a store and does everything and delivers a 10% EBITDA margin. That means on 39, 40 rupees he makes money out of it. And if you see our country with 1.4 billion, at least there are 20 to 25 million household who has an ability to spend 10,000 rupees every year on such products. Now, if I look at 20 billion households, 20 million households, sorry, 20 million households, you can imagine the kind of value which is there. It is being sold today by mom and pop shops. Now we see, if so many things are being sold, can we not participate into this? Many of you have been working in the textile industry. I know some of the people. We look at the, if somebody is selling, somebody has to produce also. Why can't I be that? So I'm giving you this one opportunity. Second thing, in terms of the whole technology, we are so sharp, we are so intelligent, and especially if I look at, I've been a bit fortunate that traveled all over the world. If I see the whole Manhattan, you see every second or a third person is belonging to an Agrawal clan. Agrawal, Maheshwari, Jain. So why they? And today the financial world is what? It is all us. Because again, it is coming because of our DNA. Maybe our great grandparents have brought this DNA on us, that you understand business, you understand finance the best. And I think that is one key attribute we should apply. Second thing, lot of us have a fear or a risk. But why we should consider that as an issue? And you can fail first time, you can fail second time, but if you are at it, you will succeed. And there are many examples you will find people have succeeded not in the first go, second go, third go, and the perseverance. And I think that is also very important, that we have to be at it. We cannot say, oh, aaj start kiya, saal bhar nahi chala, 2 saal, I go back, switch to another thing. We have to have a conviction. And I think that conviction is very, very important. And if I look at it furthermore, you know, as a family, I lived till 92 to 2010, I lived overseas. We decided as a family that we have to go back to our own country, that it is our own country. We have to be there with the families and friends, and why we should continue living overseas for such a long time. We decided, and then we came back to India. Now, this is one thing again, why people are coming back to our own country. Because there is a great opportunity. Overseas, there is not so much opportunity left. You look at the startup world, it is the third largest startup cap in the world. Every second, third startup which is meaningful is happening out of India. Because today the capital is not a problem. You look at it that every single private equity, hedge fund is coming to India because they want to see deploy capital. Again, the intelligence which is there with our people, that they know if we back such people, you are going to get a great opportunity. So that is another very important reason that we should embark upon all these opportunities. Take another example. I look at it, Raymond. I joined in the peak of COVID. It's a retail business. Stores were shut. 1,500 stores, everything shut. Nobody going to the store, nobody buying, nobody selling. Business was absolutely strapped for cash. This company, we are celebrating 100th year, had never seen a day when the cash would not come in. Because you have stores, kapda bikega, cash aayega. So they had never a thought or dreamt, aisa bhi din aa sakta hai ki we will not get cash. But that happened. COVID, everything got shut. We were having a 2,700 crore debt on our balance sheet. The banks were not willing to roll over. Somebody will say, आपके पास 100 एकड़ जगह है, उसकी दाम ही 3,500 करोड़ है. You have this JK house, which is another 4,000-5,000 crores. You have such big asset in factories. But the banks were not willing because nobody knew, will COVID get over or not get over. So everybody has this apprehension, kapda kyun pehnne ki zarurat hai. But we had one thing very clear, that it's only a short-term phenomena. तकलीफ का समय है, आया है तो जाएगा भी. We believed in that philosophy. And we started to work on it. And we actually converted, not a great thing to talk, we converted this a blessing in disguise. We said at this juncture, we can cut our cost. We took out, is a big company, but we took out 400 crore of a sustainable fixed cost out, permanently gone. Because things which are not required, we as a large company, chalo chalta hai. So we brought in a lot of discipline, and slowly and steadily we said, we will do these right things. Because you can take a harsh decision at that point of time, because you had the possibility, because COVID was there. So you had this, and slowly and steadily we started to bring the business. You know, there's always this whole thing, kaise hoga? There are always naysayers in the business. But there have to be at least 3 to 5 people in the organization who believe in the story. And we exactly said that first we make sure that we believe, ensure that these 3 to 5 people should start communicating forward to various people that there is a possibility. And then we coined something ki apna time aayega. And I think that is where the whole organization moved into that direction. Because if you bring a positive state in the organization, start communicating accordingly, the whole thing changes. And this is similar thing, that as an Agrawal community, if we start believing that we will do, you see there are other communities in this country who have done phenomenally well, but there is a unity intact. But we believe, I do well, it's good, but am I going to help out the other guy? Though we have a great philosophy of helping out others, but am I stepping out? And I think that is a question we need to ask. If I have done little bit, I need to give back to the society. And I think that is something which we all should take a pride by saying, we as an Agrawal community will also do the same thing. We continued to do this journey, and then there was a moment when we sold our FMCG business for a value of 2,800 crores, 81 times of EBITDA. Now some of the people will say, what are you talking? But we said, and it was a business which was started in the group, said how can we sell? Emotional. Now this is again very important. Many of us as business people put lot of emotions. I'm nothing against it. Very good thing, you should put emotions. But what I will do a 500 crore business of FMCG when there are giants sitting in that business? Can I grow that? Answer is no. So therefore you have to find a solution that how can I do it right? What we had said was I would stay in a business where I can play as a top 3 player. If I am not in the top 3 player, then I will not stay in that business. This was a very harsh call. Obviously the promoter was bit iffy, shall we not? We said we can unfold a larger business out of it. And we sold that business and we convinced the Godrej that in our hand that business delivers only 35 crore EBITDA. In your hand it can deliver 200 crore EBITDA. Now that is for him a significant thing. And you have no time to go to the, from today to tomorrow you are in the market with a 500 crore business. And that's why they paid this kind of a value. So what I'm trying to say is ki you have to be passionate, but emotional, I think there is a limit. You should be emotional with a business. It can happen, the times have changed, you have created this, but you cannot carry it forward. I worked for Jet Airways. Now exactly if I look at Jet Airways, the sad part of the story is great business, everything worked very well, but then the promoter got too emotional with the business that I cannot let go. Now, unfortunately, if the business needed that kind of a cash, you had no option but to let go. Ultimately, it failed. So therefore, what is important, and it is a lesson for me, that if you do a business, you have to go out and maybe sometimes you have to take a very hard call and you should be prepared. The other thing is in time you have to take the call. Sometimes what happens is we drag our feet. चलो आज नहीं 6 महीने बाद करते हैं 6 महीने के बाद 12 महीने में करते हैं maybe it will turn around. I'm not saying no to that, you should do that, but at the end of the day you have to take the call at the right time. Otherwise the kind of loss or the value destruction you do for the business is immense. Maybe some of you know a VIP suitcase business. From nowhere Safari came and bait them up. And before it went into a collapse, that business was supposedly to be sold at 9,000 crore value. But nahi, mujhe to 9 nahi chahiye, mujhe to 12 chahiye. This 9 to 12 journey has brought them back to 4,500 or 5,000 crore. So you see, this is again, don't take a decision. And many of us, it is not only in big businesses. Let us be very clear. Even a guy who is running a grocery store, he will also face a similar situation that the business may have some trouble. Some things have changed. And the other thing is also with the whole times change, the trends change. We have to be keeping up the trend. I'll give you an example in Raymond business. We have a Color Plus brand. Many of you must be using a Color Plus brand. Have we changed? Answer is no. We continued. So my consumer, target consumer has become what? जो पहले 35 साल का था वो आज 60 का हो गया वो खरीद रहा है. But जो 35 का नया है, he is not entering into my segment. So I'm losing that. Now if I don't revitalize that brand, what am I going to do? At some point of time we'll lose it. And a 60-year-old guy, requirement may be much lesser. So therefore I think what is also important is to continue to evolve with the changing trends, which many of us miss. And the reason why I miss is because today my business is very successful. Why should I worry? I am classical again, Raymond suitings. Below me, Manevar came and took that market. There would not be a wedding in India where a Raymond suit does not get stitched. Can't be. It is as simple as that. But we miss the opportunity that अब शादी 2 दिन की नहीं होती 4-5 दिन की होती है उसमें इंडियन वेयर पहनते एथनिक वेयर. Who had the best opportunity? We had the best opportunity to grab that market. We missed that. Now we are coming back. And in quick succession we have opened I think more than 140 stores. So what I'm trying to say is there are possibilities which exist. So what we have to look at it, that there is one fundamental advantage which we have, and this network, phenomenal network, everybody is experts in their respective fields. When we meet, we get to know a lot of things which we may not be aware. And why don't we share that? And as a community, we built such a scale that tomorrow people talk about that this community, oh, I envy this community. And I think that is what I want to say, that really we want to, I aspire that we reach to that stage that all around people say, oh, I envy this community. What they have achieved and delivered in a time frame is commendable. Thank you. I don't know whether I've shot up the time or. Ah, okay, happy to.
Amit ji, it was a very nice session. Uh, would you please share with us what is the real secret of turnaround of Raymond Group from nothing to everything and 10 times growth? So can you share the real secret with all of us so we can all benefit from it?
I think very simple. You see, first is it is all in the mind. You have to have this conviction, it is possible. If we would have given up at that point of time in 2020, ab dukaan band, hamara dhanda band. We said that is not an option. We have to come back. We have to do whatever it takes to come back. So classical things, routine things, cut your cost, look at for working capital, do the right thing, see the niches which you have, started with that. And then progressively you start, for example, we have a small engineering business, Ring Aqua, which is the ring gears for the cars, and steel files. And again, you will be surprised that steel files, we enjoy globally 25% production share. Nobody knows, bigger than China. Now this business was a 450, 500 crore business. We saw an opportunity that as the scale is going up, people are struggling all over the world in the ring gear business, steel ring gear. We said, why don't we build a capacity? So what we did was, we said, we will invest, it was small money, 15, 20 crore capex. We said, we build the capacity. This is a quiet time, no problem, we'll get the equipment cheap, we build that capacity. From a 3 million ring gear, we went to 10 million ring gears now in 4 years. From a 200 crore, this company is 450 crore. So what we are saying is, there are many steps which we did. Like, for example, in terms of real estate business, we had this land. We said, land to sell. We sold one piece of land, 20 acre for 35 crore an acre. Now there are not many buyers who will come pay this kind of a price. We started with a very simple 1 BHK and 2 BHK. In Mumbai, nobody can go wrong with a 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. And some of you are from Thane, so she knows. We said, what we want to deliver, coming from a fabric business, how can you get into real estate? Just not possible. But one thing we had, Raymond brand stands for trust. So by virtue of that trust, people started to buy. And because we come from a manufacturing mindset, what we said was, our execution capability has to be such that we execute before the RERA timeline. And what we did was 2 years before the RERA timeline we delivered. And you know, when first project gets delivered with this, the market comes back. So then we launched the second project, then the third project, and everything we are executing. Second thing, we have to be mindful of what a consumer needs. We created a 5-acre garden on Mother Earth, and we got this swimming pool. There was something, we said, it will cost me 1.5 crore more. I created an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That one on a Sunday afternoon, when 3,000 families, 1 BHK, 2 BHK come for this, it gets crowded. I spend 1.5 crore more, but now more people can enjoy. Similarly, we created a 50,000 square feet clubhouse. So these were some of the things. Then we said, we sold the FMCG business. We said our whole focus will be that we will make sure it is a zero debt company. We announced to the market that we will be a debt-free company. The other thing what we did was, we did not speak to investors for 2 years, 2021, 21, 22. We said we'll not speak to any of these guys. Now, unless until I have a demonstrated performance, I'm not going to communicate. We delivered 8 quarters of consecutive record performance, generating free cash flows and repaying the debt, which the market loves. Some of the market participants are there who dabble in stock market. We demonstrated that my return on equity will go up. And that led to a market journey. So I remember when I joined, it was 1600 crore. We went to 30 or 1000 crores. We did the demerger of the lifestyle business. We are doing the real estate demerger. So now, again, the investors love pure play businesses. We did exactly what the market needs. And that is where the journey of unlocking of the value is. And the brand is so phenomenal. You need to brush up a little bit and you will unlock the value. It is as simple as that. Hope it answers the question.
Amarji, I'm Sandeep Bajoria. I just had a talk with you. Yeah. It was amazing talk by you, and very, very much you think great things about community, and we need to help each other out. We all want to grow together, and the more you share, more you gain. That's what I always believe in. Uh, I was talking to you some time back, and you told me very importantly that Mumbai is one of the biggest market in the world for reconstruction, because every area buildings are 50 to 80-year old, and we need to rebuild. And he has put up a very amazing figure. Now we want to hear from him that how big is the Mumbai's market. Nobody has thought and given a number to this market which he has given. So kindly speak on that, please.
No, so I'll look. So again, very. So I'll tell you, and why it's a great question, touches very close to my heart, because real estate is a very young business in the group. What we thought that I don't want to, and the journey started with that I will construct or do the real estate business in order to repay the debt in the Raymond lifestyle business, which is my primary business. My whole focus was not to use the money of lifestyle into the real estate business. So we made sure that the day one it stands on its own feet. So therefore the whole philosophy was take money out of it and put it here, not to the other way around. So when we started this business, we developed, I think good cash flows got generated. Then we said it is a great business. You can get very good if you are at it. So some of the builders, what they do is, and I'm being very frank and open here, that if I get a FSI of 1,000,000 square feet, instead of constructing 990, which we do, for 995, people go out and construct for 1,050,000. And for that 50,000, what you do is, and the regulator will come, आपका project बंद हो गया, 25 दिन बंद हो गया. If something goes wrong, he will not take all the approvals up front. We said, we will not start a project unless until all approvals are in place. Long story short, we said we will commit to deliver the project with the least amount of capital. Then we said, how do we grow this beyond Thane? Because land is finite, 100 acres, 100 acres. We said the best model is a joint development. And the reason why we can get into a joint development is, I have a demonstrated performance. And here, like you see Trump Tower, I'm not saying we are at the Trump Tower level now with all this fanfare, whatever is there. We created our residences also different names. 10x Reality, Address by GS, Invictus by GS. So now, when we did all that, we were able to get these projects. Then we said, how big is this market? Because people started to question us that the real estate growth can only come by virtue of having a land, otherwise it cannot come. So then we started to say, let's start. And you know, in Bridge Candy, you have seen the JK house opposite the hospital. He said, we take that lane, Sapphire College Lane. The building next to that has got 12 apartments. Each apartment is 80 crores, which makes to a 1,000 crore building, $100 million. And if you see all these buildings, most of the older buildings have an FSI of 1, 1.25, 1.5, which today, because the government wants to develop the real estate industry, has reached in the island city 4, 4.5. Now this is a phenomenal raw material which you have, which you can utilize, and everybody is looking, the families are becoming larger, everybody is looking to live in a nicer place with more facilities and such things. And there it struck to us that just this lane could be more than $2 billion worth. And then we did a little bit of a snapshot, and don't hold me that is it. So we believe what you asked the question, long story short, is a $2 trillion Mumbai market. Now somebody can say it is 1.8 or 2.2, and I'm not saying it will be developed over today to tomorrow, but over the next 50 to 70 years, this $2 trillion will get realized in this market. And you think about it again, going back to the older one, as a community, cement लगेगा, steel लगेगा, job work है, furniture है, fixture है, sanitary, you name it. In a home, what all you need, curtain hai, this fan, what not is required. Can't we think about 10 products going into that? Just one city has a potential of $2 trillion. The whole urbanization, what is happening? People migrating from a smaller city to bigger city. Everybody needs a home. So we very strong believer that it is a $2 trillion market. It is public domain, nothing secret, that we have already signed 12,000 crore worth of JTA contracts as we speak today. And we believe that every single builder in this city can go and whatever maximum appetite he has, he can get. And there exists still an opportunity for another 50 to 100 such corporate builders. Because the market is so large. Thank you. Thank you.
One question.
First of all, sir, thank you so much for having this amazing conversation with us. And sir, like you accentuated that how India is a land of golden opportunities. People are coming back to India. There's a reverse migration happening. And you also spoke about how we should find the spirit of entrepreneurship in our blood. So with all your years of experience, what do you think, like how can someone develop this mindset, especially being someone who's young, you know, how can someone develop this mindset? How does one go about it? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, if I ask people sitting out here who are doing the businesses, they all came out of their comfort zone. You have to come out of your comfort zone. आज we all comfortable here, Trump Tower में बढ़िया first class रह रहे हैं. Why should I go out? I have got a car. My father has given me a car. Great living. I can go spend splurge money, whatever I wish to. But if I have to do something on my own, and it's a good pride moment for me, I have to step out of Trump Tower. I have to do something. And if you come with that belief, I'm pretty sure sooner or later you will come with an idea. I think the first step to step out of the place is most important. Second thing, perseverance and risk taking. And I'm saying today, younger people like yourselves, sorry, I'm not pointing at you, but you will have more opportunity to take risk compared to the fathers of yours or grandfather of yours who started practically from a scratch. When people migrated to a city like Mumbai and all, they started from scratch. Today, you're blessed with having some bit of a capital, some bit of an assurance, some bit of a comfort. And again, today the age is very different. Your ability to network. In minutes, you can network globally. Seconds, which did not exist. उस समय तो एक टेलीफोन लगाने के लिए people would hello 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 करते रहते थे. Now today nobody cares for this. This is all given. So I think very important in my opinion is a mindset that I want to do and contribute to something. And the other part, being an entrepreneur. So you please understand, many of you are entrepreneurs here, that what kind of a satisfaction you get that I am giving the employment to so many people and so many households are having a great good life because I have created the platform. And I think that is again, I hats off and really big cheers for all of you entrepreneurs who have doing and giving the jobs to so many people. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit ji. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Great pleasure.
I would just like to add something. Amit ji talked about such a great industry in the city waiting to be exploited. जो पुरानी बिल्डिंग रो सब टूट रही है, नहीं बन रही है. Just I'm leaving a question with everybody. अपने बम्बई में कितने अग्रवाल कम्युनिटी के बिल्डर्स थे, हैं और नए भी आ रहे हैं. बट कई कम्युनिटी, कई में नई जनरेशन आर नॉट कमिंग फॉरवर्ड. यू ऑल नो द बिल्डिंग्स इन बॉम्बे. एक जमाने में मित्तल बिल्डर्स, पूरा साउथ बॉम्बे वाज मेड बाय मित्तल बिल्डर्स, नरीमन पॉइंट, सो मेनी थिंग्स. तो आज इतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी इसके अंदर है. पीपल सिटिंग ओवर हियर फॉर योरसेल्फ, for your children, for your grandchildren. Every household will require a TV, a fan, a car, a furnishing, A to Z, and that quantity runs into millions and millions and millions. So get into anything, but do it with the best possible product, best pricing, 100% honesty, 100% transparency. There is no end of business. If you do it well with a good product, there is no end of quantity which you can turn out.
Can I give one simple example? I'll give you a very simple example. We were traveling from London coming back. You have something? What we saw, we got in the plane night suit. It suddenly struck to both of us that in India there is no organized player for a sleepwear. So then we started to think, what could be a, if I start thinking from a Raymond mindset, ये 2,500-3,000 से कम नहीं होगा. Then we said 2,500-3,000, how many people will buy a sleepwear because it is go inside, not so much of a show. So we said, we will get a product which we have launched. I think we have launched with 250 distributors or something, that 1,000 rupees sleepwear, 3-digit, 999, be it a kurta pajama or a short and a t-shirt. We launched that product and the trade really liked, because they are saying that, look, from a house of Raymond, if a product is coming, the quality is given almost decent and at a price point which is 999. And when I look at my selfish interest, I have been always in a discretionary category. अगर आप देखिए तो everybody has to buy a sleepwear. He cannot. So it has moved from a discretionary to a consumption category. So therefore the market size which we believe is at least 3,000-4,000 crores. And what is it? Simple silne ka, it doesn't take too much time. And that I am making, I think, gross margin basis pe I am doing 30% ka gross margin. But look at it, that means 500 se 600 rupees mein somebody is able to make. So, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Girish ji.
Our next speaker today, due to some unavoidable circumstances, Dr. Jimmy Jain could not attend. So I request Mr. Manoj Agrawal to speak on his behalf. And to introduce Mr. Manoj Agrawal, I request Girish Agrawal ji to give a brief introduction of Manoj ji.
थैंक यू सुमन जी। मनोज जी आ सकते हैं। मनोज जी डीसीबी बैंक के ग्रुप एसोसिएट वाइस प्रेसिडेंट हैं। डीसीबी बैंक वाज नोन अर्लियर एज डेवलपमेंट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक लिमिटेड। He is studied from IIM Indore, and he has worked in many portfolios in the bank, head of TD portfolio, now he is group vice president, and he is well connected with the social organizations like Agrawal Vikas Trust, Agrawal Sabha, Agrawal Yuva Vikas Sammelan, and he was given Samaj Ratna Award from Chief Minister of Haryana. He is well connected with the social work, and he is associated with many NGOs. I will not take much time. I request you, Sri Manoj Agrawal, to come and present his deliberations. Thank you.
Good evening. I have not prepared because Dr. Jimmy Jain, who have to come here, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, he is not able to attend this meeting. So I am Manoj Agrawal. I am Group Associate Vice President in DCB Bank. Yeah, sure. He will attend here. So that's why I'm not well planned. But yes, I will talk about sometime what happened whenever I go to some of the meeting. So some question like this, ki how you motivate your team and how you build up a team who will do the sales for you. Because for every business, sales is most important thing, right? So what I believe and I do with my team, there will be two things. One is think big. And then the second thing is SOS, which is sales-oriented structured. What is the process of sales? How you make them believe कि आप sales कैसे करें, right? So firstly, if I say think big, तो I have one question with all of you. कि अगर मैं आपको बोलूं कि आपने नया एक बिजनेस शुरू किया है, तो आप उसकी पहले साल की टर्नओवर कितनी सोचेंगे? Anybody? Yeah. That is the only thing आप सोचेंगे. आपको सोचना नहीं है. Because like डॉक्टर सुमन ने भी कहा और अमित जी ने भी कहा कि आपको पहले तो पैशनेट होना है अपने काम के लिए, और दूसरा उन्होंने कहा कि इमोशनल, ठीक है, एंड यू हैव टू गो आउट. तो हम क्या करते हैं, पहले सोचने लग जाते हैं कि कितना बिजनेस कर पाऊंगा. लाइक आरसी मित्तल, वी हैव रिलेशनशिप आरसी मित्तल, ठीक है, हमने भी ऐसे किया था, सोचने लग गए थे कि कितना बिजनेस लेंगे हम उनसे, बट दे हैव वर्थ ऑफ यू नो इन मिलियंस एंड ट्रिलियंस, राइट. सो हम अगर सोचने लग जाएंगे तो हम उससे पैसा ले नहीं पाएंगे. अगर हम किसी को लोन देना चाहेंगे, हम अगर वो ये सोचेगा कि कितना लोन लेना है, ठीक है, हम उसकी वर्थ देखते हैं डॉक्यूमेंटेशन देख के, राइट. लेकिन हम पहले ही उसको बोल देंगे कि नहीं हम आपको 10 करोड़ से ऊपर नहीं देंगे, तो फिर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन देखने की जरूरत क्या है, राइट. सो आई विल आस्क इफ यू नो अनु रीमा सिन्हा, if you know about her. Anybody? Mount Everest, mountaineer, yeah. So if you are not aware about it, so I usually, take her name and I motivate people because I have seen so many videos. एक लड़की है जो ट्रेन में सफ़र कर रही थी और उसकी चेन को स्नैच करने की कोशिश की गई, बिकॉज वो वॉलीबॉल प्लेयर थी. तो उसने भी बड़ी कोशिश की अपने आप को बचाने की, बट जो लोग थे उन्होंने उनको उठा के बाहर फेंक दिया. एंड ट्रेन आ रही है, जा रही है, और उसके पैर दोनों कट गए, ठीक है, या सो उसके दोनों पैर कट गए हैं और वो रात को सारी रात वहाँ पड़ी रही. चूहे उसके पैर को खा रहे थे, ठीक है, जस्ट इमेजिन. सुबह उसको ले जाया गया हॉस्पिटल में और दोनों पैर काट दिए गए। आप सोचिए कि एक मेंटली हालत उसकी क्या होगी जिसके दोनों पैर काट दिए और वो स्पोर्ट पर्सन है। कैन यू इमेजिन? और शायद कुछ लोग हम में से या कुछ लोग ऐसे होंगे जो कहेंगे शायद मुझे सुसाइड कर लेना चाहिए, ठीक है। उसको नौकरी भी अच्छी मिल सकती थी बिकॉज वो नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर थी। उसने ये सोचा कि अगर मैं जिंदा हूं तो इसमें कुछ ना कुछ वजह होगी भगवान की। तो उसने कहा जो मैं कर रही हूँ वो तो नहीं कर सकती, बट मैं वो करूंगी जो सबसे मुश्किल है। और उसने चूज किया टू क्लाइम अ माउंटेन, और उसने एक एक करके 7 क्लाइम माउंटेन किए हैं। और जब उसने अपने कोच को ढूंढा और अपने कोच के पास वो गई और उसकी हालत देख के कोच ने जब उससे पूछा तो उसने कहा मुझे माउंटेन चढ़ना है। तो उसने ये कहा कोच ने, तू ऑलरेडी फतेह कर चुकी है, सिर्फ अब तारीख लिखना बाकी है। तो उसने एक एक करके माउंटेन पूरे किए। और आपको अगर पता होगा टेम्परेचर जैसे जैसे आप ऊपर जाते हैं टेम्परेचर कम होता जाता है और उसके जो आर्टिफिशियल लिम्स थे वो गलने लग गए, ठीक है, खून बह रहा है, बट उसने फिर भी वो फतेह की। और वी कैन टेक दिस लाइक कि अगर पैशनेट हैं आप किसी काम के लिए, आप सरकमस्टांसेस को मत समझिए। अभी किसी ने पूछा तो अमित जी ने कहा कि आपको पैशनेट होना है और यंगस्टर्स हैं, आपको आगे बढ़ना है। आगे बढ़ना है तो आपको धूप में सब में जाना पड़ेगा। देन यू आई थिंक यू आर अवेयर अबाउट निक विजोसिक, ठीक है, नो लिम, नो हैंड, नो लेग्स, राइट? राइट। तो उसके दोनों पैर नहीं है, दोनों हाथ नहीं है। वो सुबह उठता है, ब्रेकफास्ट करता है, ब्रश करता है, अपना डेली रूटीन करता है, और ही इज़ अ मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर, फेमस मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, ठीक है। यू कैन सी उसने जब से वो पैदा हुआ उसके वो थे नहीं, ठीक है, और उसने उसको अपनी कमजोरी नहीं, उसने अपनी ताकत बनाई। कोई भी इंसान जब एक जॉब के लिए आता है तो इस मकसद से आता है कि मैंने काम करना है। हम बहुत बार देखते हैं एट्रिशन रेट जो होता है हर एक कंपनी का आज के डेट में बहुत, क्योंकि यंगस्टर बहुत बार स्विच कर जाते हैं, कुछ कर जाते हैं, 40% 45%। यूजली इन बैंक्स वी हैव फ्रेंड्स फ्रॉम कोटेक एज वेल। तो अगर उनको पता ही है 40-45% इज द एट्रिशन रेट मिनिमम जो चल रहा है, राइट? इससे ज़्यादा ही होगा, कम नहीं होगा। होता क्या है कि जब वो आता है इंसान जॉब करने, तो ये सोच के आता है कि मुझे कुछ बनना है, कुछ आगे बढ़ना है। वह उसको हैंड होल्डिंग उस तरह से नहीं मिलती है कि वो अपने आप को चार्ट कर सके। जैसे अमित जी ने कहा फर्स्ट मिलियन कमाना पहले जरूरी है, तो ऐसे ही उसका फर्स्ट ईयर हमें हैंड अगर हम अपने आप से कर लें, ठीक है, हैंड होल्डिंग, तो शायद वो कामयाब हो जाए। जितने यहाँ सक्सेसफुल मैन बैठे हैं, अगर वो अपने पिछले में जाएंगे हिस्ट्री में, तो कहीं ना कहीं उनको भी ठोकर लगी होगी और उन्होंने कामयाबी तब की होगी जब किसी ने हाथ पकड़ा होगा, ठीक है। तो मेरा ये अनुरोध रहता है और अपनी मैनेजमेंट से भी रहता है कि बिफोर गिविंग देम इंटीमेटम की छोड़ के जाएं या कुछ कहें, वी शुड गिव देम फुल स्ट्रेंथ हैंड होल्डिंग सो दैट वो ग्रो कर सकें, क्योंकि फ्यूचर वही है। ऐसे ही हमारे एक और हैं, यू नो अबाउट हर, जिन्होंने अपना एक्सीडेंट में पैर खो दिया, सुधा चंद्रन। तो सुधा चंद्रन जो हैं जिन्होंने एक्सीडेंट में अपना पैर खोया और वो भरतनाट्यम की डांसर रही हैं, उन्होंने अपना नाम कमाया, फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में भी एक्ट्रेस रही हैं, ठीक है। तो ये कमजोरी जो हैं ये कभी भी जन्म से भी आ सकती है और लाइफ में भी आ सकती हैं, बट वी शुड नॉट लूज हार्ट, वी शुड थिंक बिग ऑलवेज। पहली चीज ये है जो सेल्स में है, तो अगर आप सेल्स में हैं और आपने ये सोचा है कि मैंने कुछ मिशन अचीव करना है या मैंने ये हासिल करना है, चाहे बिजनेसमैन भी है, तो उसको ये बड़ा सोचना ही पड़ेगा। अगर वो 100 रुपये सोचेगा तब जाके वो 10 रुपये पे पहुंचेगा। अमित जी ने ये भी बताया कि उन्होंने जब ली कंपनी लॉस मेकिंग में थी और आज के डेट में वो 15 टाइम्स ग्रो कर चुकी है, ठीक है। दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ, आई थिंक जब इन्होंने ली होगी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, तो ये नहीं सोचा होगा कि ये शायद 1 रुपये तक लेके आऊँ, इन्होंने ये सोचा होगा कि इसको मैंने 10 टाइम 50 टाइम्स या 50 टाइम्स करना है। क्योंकि अगर ये सिर्फ ये सोचते कि मैंने लॉस पूरा करना है तो शायद ये 0 तक एट पार पहुंच पाते हैं, ठीक है। इन्होंने ये सोचा होगा कि मुझे आगे बढ़ाना है। तो मेरा यही पहला जो 2 पॉइंट में से रहता है कि यू हैव टू थिंक बिग, दैट इज द ओनली फंडा। otherwise you will not gain anything. The second thing is कि सेल्स को सेल्स स्ट्रक्चर सेल ओरिएंटेड स्ट्रक्चर कैसे बनाया जाए. तो यहाँ कोई पॉलिटिशियन है नहीं है, तो पॉलिटिशियन आप पसंद करते हैं? कौन कौन नहीं करता? थैंक यू सर. दो हैं, दो ही लोग हैं, तीन लोग हैं बस. अच्छा साइलेंस, तो तीन लोग पसंद करते हैं. तो मैं पसंद करता हूँ, आई यूजली टेक कि जहाँ से कुछ अच्छी सीख मिल जाए, यू हैव टू टेक इट. सो मैं सेल्स से इसको कनेक्ट करता हूँ. ठीक है, तो अभी हम एमएलए या एमपी बनेंगे, ठीक है, थोड़ी देर में. एंड इफ यू वांट, इवन चेयरमैन साहब बैठे हैं, वी कैन कनेक्टेड विथ आवर समाज ऑल्सो, बिकॉज मैं अगर पॉपुलेशन बोलूँ महाराष्ट्र की, जो लास्ट 20 अभी इलेक्शन हुए हैं, 2,16,73,000 मेरे पास है. ठीक है, और इसमें से अग्रवाल कितने होंगे सर यहाँ मुंबई में? मुंबई 7-8 लाख. 7-8 लाख को हम रीचेबल हैं सर. बट हम महाराष्ट्र सिर्फ मुंबई की बात करें, क्या 7-8 लाख से हम कनेक्ट हैं मैम? आप इंडिया लेवल पे देखते हैं नहीं. तो अभी हम सेल्स जो हम अपनी स्ट्रैटेजी करते हैं, इसको कनेक्ट करेंगे अपने समाज के साथ भी, कि कैसे हम 7-8 लाख लोगों तक पहुंचे. और सेल्स की सर, कोटेक वाले कौन है यहाँ? कोटेक सर, व्हाट इज द कन्वर्जन रेशियो सेल्स के लिए? इफ आई डू सम कॉल्स और मैं कहूं कि मेरी कन्वर्ट इतनी लीड्स हो जाएंगी, कितनी %? 2 to 3 सर. राइट सर, 10. ठीक है, तो हम 10-15% ऐसे ही लेंगे सेल्स को, एंड दिस इज अ मैथमेटिक्स. ठीक है, तो एक इंसान ने इंटरव्यू दिया बैंक में. बैंक में इसलिए रह रहा हूँ, बैंक की आजकल सेल्स बड़ी टफ हो गई है, पहले वाला नहीं था. मैंने सुना था कि शादी अगर होती थी और अगर वो बैंकर है तो बड़े आराम से हो जाती थी. बट सर अब क्या होता है? बैंक, हाँ, बैंक अगर आप बताएंगे तो सोचना पड़ता है, ना सुबह का टाइम है ना शाम का टाइम है. ठीक है, और लोन देना है नहीं देना है, वो दिया तो पछताया, नहीं दिया तो पछताया. ठीक है, तो 2,16,000 सॉरी 2,16,73,000 एंड 7 लाख था बनिया अग्रवाल. ठीक है, 7 लाख लोगों को हमने पहुंचना है. मैं डेली कितने लोगों को मिल सकता हूं मैम? 10. आपने सोचा पहले तो आप, हाँ सर, कितने लोगों को मिल सकता हूं मैं? किसने कहा? 3 लोगों को. सर एक्चुअली हम लोग सोच रहे हैं, पहला पॉइंट मैंने कहा था थिंक बिग. ग्रेट, 1000. एनीबॉडी एल्स? मैंने कहा था थिंक बिग. अनुरिमा सिन्हा को याद करिए, जिसके दोनों पैर कट गए थे. उसने माउंटेन को चूज किया, वॉलीबॉल छोड़ दी उसने. कोई और एक बार ट्राई करेगा? सर आपने बोला, अभी तक किसी ने थॉट भी नहीं किया. ये अभी तक 10 और 3 तक पहुंचे हम. ग्रेट, दैट इज योर वे ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, योर वे ऑफ स्टाइल. दैट व्हाट वी लर्न हियर. सर यही अभी हमने कनेक्ट करना है, सो दैट आई वांट चेयरमैन साहब, प्रेसिडेंट साहब और मैम फ्रॉम इंडिया लेवल कि 7 लाख लोग क्यों नहीं हम यहाँ बैठे? हम क्यों नहीं 7 लाख लोगों को ऐड कर देते, ताकि आप अभी आपने ही कहा था कि हमें एक दूसरे की हेल्प करनी चाहिए, क्यों नहीं हम 7 लाखों को ऐड कर देते? सो आपने कहा 3, आपने कहा 10 एंड राइटली सेड, सर ने कहा 1000. मैं ये कहता हूं 7 लाख लोगों को क्यों नहीं मिल सकते हम? ठीक है, अब आते हैं कि बैंक में ने इंटरव्यू दिया, वो आया, उसने सेल्स करने जाना है. वो भी ऐसी सोचता है जैसे 3 सोचा या 10 सोचा. ठीक है, और उसने कहा मैं दिन में इतने लोग मिलूंगा. ठीक है, और एक साइड पे आपको ही सर किसी पार्टी ने टिकट दे दी. ठीक है, और आप टिकट लेके नॉमिनेशन भरने गए, जैसे कि वो लड़का बैंक में आया, उसने अपनी नॉमिनेशन भरी, अपना ज्वाइनिंग किट भरी, ठीक है। अब आप जब नॉमिनेशन भरने जाएंगे, आपका वहां पे सिलेक्शन हो गया कि अब आप इलेक्शन लड़ेंगे, आपको कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट कितने दिन पहले लग जाता है? मैक्सिमम 45 डेज, 30 डेज एंड 21 डेज, राइट, एज पर द ऑब्वियसली जो रूलिंग सरकार है वो अपने हिसाब से थोड़ा सा ले लेती है एडवांटेज। तो हम 45 डेज ले लेते हैं, 21 डेज लेते हैं, वो जो भी ले लेते हैं। 45 डेज में आप मुझे ये बताइए एक एक करके कि वो क्या क्या इंसान करता है जिसको शिद्दत ये होती है कि मुझे 5 साल एमएलए या एमपी बनना है, क्योंकि अगर मैं 5 साल नहीं बना तो अगले 5 साल में कुछ नहीं रहूंगा। सर क्या करता है? सर क्या करता है? वोटर कैचमेंट। आपने क्या कहा सर? लोगों से मिलता है। मैम, लोगों से मिलना, रैलीज, घर से बाहर रहता है। सर आप बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है सर। और सर क्या करता है? कोटेक, दोस्त, कवरेज, सर पब्लिसिटी, सर सर तीन नहीं, पॉलिटिक्स बात नहीं कर रहे, हम कर रहे हैं कि बिजनेस में हम कैसे अपने लोगों को मोटिव। सर कैसे करेगा? आज सर ने कंपनी खोली, अपने कंपनी में बंदे रखे, कंपनी को आगे बढ़ानी है, कैसे करेगा उनको मोटिवेट? सर ने अपनी संस्था बनाई, हमने संस्था बनाई, 7 लाख लोगों को ऐड करना है। मैं जिस बार पहली बार मीटिंग में आया था तो मैंने इससे कम चेहरे देखे थे, आज मैं शायद 10th या 11th में आया हूँ, मुझे ज़्यादा चेहरे दिख रहे हैं, बट वो उनकी मेहनत है, वो हर एक को फ़ोन करते हैं, बुलाते हैं, इनवाइट करते हैं, अच्छे स्पीकर्स बुलाते हैं और शायद हमें कुछ ना कुछ इंसाइट्स मिलती हैं, राइट। ठीक है, या ओके। सर वो एसएमएस कैंपेन करेगा, रैली करेगा, एसोसिएशन से मिलेगा, ऑडियो वीडियो अपने जितने शूट कर सकता है वो करेगा, वेबिनार करेगा सर, एसोसिएशन में जाके वो ग्रुप में करेगा, घर घर जाएगा, वो उस घर में भी जाएगा जिस घर में कांग्रेस है, उस घर में भी जाएगा जिसमें बीजेपी है, क्योंकि हो सकता है वाइफ कांग्रेस को दे दे और हस्बैंड कांग्रेस को दे दे, करेक्ट। सोशल मीडिया करेगा, सब कुछ करेगा। ऐसे ही आपका एम्प्लॉय जो है या हम सर, क्यों नहीं सबसे वेबिनार पे, एडवर्टाइजमेंट पे, ब्रांडिंग पे, ठीक है, 1 to 1 एसोसिएशन से सब बंदों को बोल दो, 1000 बंदों को मिलना है, हम क्यों नहीं कनेक्ट कर सकते व्हाट्सएप और सब पे? ठीक है। अब सर उसको कितने दिन मिले सर? 21 डेज बोले थे आपने, उसको 21 दिन मिलते हैं। और आपको ये सबको पता है कि एमएलए जिसको आप शायद अभी नहीं जानते हो, ठीक है, उस 21 दिन में आप उसको 4 बार मिल लेते हो, करेक्ट है सर? 4 बार उससे मिल लेते हो, जिससे पिछले 5 साल में आप लोग नहीं मिले, करेक्ट है? उसके बाद कभी नहीं मिल पाते। तो वही कह रहा हूं सर, अगर हम एमएलए बन गए, 7 लाख लोगों को अगर हम जोड़ लिया हमने, तो हमें खुद मिलने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, जितनी सरकारें हैं या जितने लोग हैं या जितने समाज हैं वो हमसे मिलने आएंगे, ठीक है। 21 दिन में वो 5 बार मिलता है, थ्रू मीडिया, थ्रू 1 to 1, थ्रू सोशल मीडिया, अपना वेबिनार बोल लो, एडवर्टाइजमेंट बोल लो। मैंने किसी से पूछा कि आप अपने एमपी का नाम बताइए, नहीं बता पाया। इलेक्शन के बाद पूछा, उसने कहा ये नाम है, मैंने कहा तुम जानते हो? कहते नहीं। कहते हम जानते हैं बिकॉज हमने उसका नाम देखा है। हमें अपने आप को फैलाना पड़ेगा। तो ये 21 दिन हो गए सर। अब 21 दिन के बाद चुनाव आया, ऐसे ही मेरे स्टाफ ने किया, वो 2 लोगों से मिलता था, 3 लोगों से मिलता था। मैंने उसको कहा कि तुझे विजिटिंग कार्ड मिलेंगे 100, तूने हर रोज खत्म करने हैं। सुबह जाना है न्यूज़पेपर में इंसर्शन डालने 1000, जैसे सर ने कहा, ठीक है। लिंक्डइन पे हैं आप, सोशल मीडिया पे हैं, फेसबुक पे हैं, जिसमें भी है उस पर आपने अपना एडवर्टाइजमेंट डाल देना है, ठीक है। 1 to 1 आपने जाना है, ठीक है। एसोसिएशन में जाना है जहां इतने लोग बैठे हैं। आज जो मैं बात बोल रहा हूं उनमें से कोई 1% भी शायद मेरी बात कहीं से जिक्र करेगा तो मैं वहां फैल जाऊंगा, करेक्ट। तो ऐसे ही उसने करना है। अब एक आपने बोला था 10, आप कितने मिलेंगे 45 डेज में मैम? 450 लोग, ठीक है। और वो बंदा कितना मिला है? 7 लाख। चेयरमैन साहब मिले हैं 7 लाख अग्रवाल लोगों से। अब मैथमेटिक्स ये कहता है कि कन्वर्जन कितनी होगी, तो मैं बताता हूं। आपके इलेक्शन में पहले तो वोटिंग कितनी हुई है? 58.22, करेक्ट। तो हम 60% ले लेते हैं, यानी 7 लाख लोगों में से कितने सर? यानी 3 लाख लोग ऐसे होंगे जो मर्जी आप कर लो, अग्रवाल भी है ना आपके इसमें नहीं आएंगे, ठीक है। ऐसे ही मैडम जो 450 लोगों से मिली हैं, जो सेल्स कर रही हैं, 40% कितने हुए मैडम? 500 ले लीजिए रफली, कितने हुआ? 200 बंदे आपको पूछेंगे भी नहीं, आपका प्रोडक्ट नहीं खरीदेंगे, आप सिर्फ एडवर्टाइजमेंट देखेंगे, विंडो शॉपिंग करेंगे, लेकिन आएंगे नहीं, यानी 300 लोग आपके पास आएंगे, ठीक है। और सर आपके पास कितने आए? 4 लाख। 4 लाख लोग अग्रवाल जो है वो इंटरेस्टेड हैं आपके साथ जुड़ने में, लेकिन कैसे हैं वो देखते हैं। तो विनिंग रेशियो कहती है, बीजेपी को मिली थी 26%, ठीक है सर, और आईएनसी को मिली थी 12%, बाकी मिली थी 1%, एनसी पीएसपी को 11%, 12% एसएचएस को, यानी विनिंग हुआ बीजेपी, ठीक है। अब मैथमेटिक्स कहता है, जो सर ने कहा था 10-15% की कन्वर्जन आती है सेल्स में, ये जो है ये पूरा सेल्स है, क्योंकि हमारे महाशय जो हैं वो 5 साल गद्दी लेने के लिए उसने पूरी 45 दिन शिद्दत से सुबह से रात तक मेहनत की है, जो साहब ने कहा यू हैव टू गो आउट, राइट। तो उसने शिद्दत से काम किया, 4 लाख लोग मिल गए। अब सर को 4 लाख मिल गए, आपको मिल गए 300 लोग। अब 300 लोगों ने कहा कि हम प्रोडक्ट खरीदेंगे रेमंड का, सॉरी प्रोडक्ट खरीदेंगे, लेकिन रेमंड के साथ लुइस फिलिस भी गया है, सबने मार्केटिंग की है, ठीक है। रेड उस जो भी सर प्रोडक्ट के नाम है, जितने भी लोग हैं सबने किए हैं। तो प्रोडक्ट तो खरीदना है, बट किसका खरीदना है ये भी अभी तय नहीं हुआ है। तो जब इलेक्शन में 6 लाख लोगों ने कहा कि वोट डालेंगे, अब वो आ गए, आके उन्होंने वोट किसको दिया हमें नहीं पता, उसने अपने अपने हिसाब से दिया, परसेंटेज के हिसाब से। लेकिन ये 6 लाख वो हैं जिनको इन्होंने भी कैंपेन किया, आपने भी किया, सब ने मिलकर कन्विंस किया मार्केट को, ठीक है। तो 6 लाख में से जिसने 12%, 13%, 24% हुई, वो विनर हो गया। ऐसे ही आपके 300 लोग जो हैं, उन्होंने ये कहा कि आपका प्रोडक्ट रेमंड, सॉरी प्रोडक्ट खरीदेंगे, बट वो रेमंड भी खरीदेगा, लुइस फिलिप भी खरीदेगा, पीटर इंग्लैंड भी खरीदेगा, सब खरीदेगा, ठीक है। तो ओवरऑल मैथमेटिक्स क्या कहेगा कि आप जितने ज्यादा लोगों से मिलेंगे, जितनी ज्यादा आप अपनी अवेयरनेस पहुंचाएंगे, जितने लोगों से कनेक्ट होंगे, उसमें से कन्वर्जन आपकी 12-15% से ऊपर नहीं आएगी, ठीक है। लेकिन वो एक टीम जो चेयरमैन साहब के साथ अगर हो, वो टीम जो हमारे लीडर, एमडी, हमारे ऑफिस के बिजनेसमैन, ठीक है, उसके साथ एक हो, जो हम मैनेजमेंट कमेटी कहते हैं, उस मैनेजमेंट कमेटी का काम है कि इस 4 लाख लोगों को या इस मार्केट को कैप्चर कैसे करना है। दैट इज द सेल्स स्ट्रेटजी, जिसको हम कैप्चर करने के लिए एक स्ट्रेटजी बनाते हैं कि हम कैसे उसको कैप्चर कर सकते हैं। एंड द मैथमेटिक्स सेज 10-15% इज द कन्वर्जन रेशियो, इट इज इन पॉलिटिक्स और यू कैन से इन बिजनेस, ठीक है। तो these are the 2 things you have to think big, and sales or infrastructure if we have, definitely we will win. and आखिरी में मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि opportunity doesn't come, you create them, and संघर्ष जितना कठिन होगा, जीत उतनी ही शानदार होगी। थैंक यू सो मच।
I'll just take a minute to share, Manoj ji. I've been going to one show in Bombay, जो एक डॉक्टर मुकेश बत्रा जो होम्योपैथी डॉक्टर हैं, हर साल शो करते हैं. Unique people comes in his show. Anyone has come from here to show? Girish ji has come, Sushil Moore has come. जैसे उन्होंने लास्ट शो में बुलाया था, इंडिया से वो 6 आदमी को ढूंढते हैं, यूनिक पीपल हु हैव डन समथिंग आउटस्टैंडिंग. तो ये बार एक था, वन डिसेबल पर्सन ऑन व्हील चेयर. ही वॉज लुकिंग फॉर अ जॉब, उसको कोई जॉब नहीं दे रहा था. सो ही टुक अप अ चैलेंज, आई विल फॉर्म अ कंपनी एंड आई विल एम्प्लॉय ओनली डिसेबल पर्सन इन दैट कंपनी. And he succeeded very, very successfully. I'll share one more example. Last year, he called a person, Dr. Nilesh Agarwal, an eye doctor who suddenly became blind one day. A doctor becoming blind one day suddenly. So, काफी महीनों तक परेशान होके उन्होंने मन में सोचा कि मैं अभी ब्लाइंड लोगों को इंडिया में हेल्प करूंगा. And he's formed a group in every city of India, even in Bombay, where he helps blind people for employment, for skill development, for education and whatnot. Unbelievable person. एक दिन मौका मिला, उनको यहाँ बुलाएंगे as a speaker. उनको सुन के anyone can be motivated to do anything in life. तो जो ये बता रहे थे या पहले अमित जी बता रहे थे कि यू कैन डू एनीथिंग इन लाइफ, अंदर से वो फायर आना चाहिए करने के लिए। वो फायर आएगा तो तुम कोई चीज में भी सक्सेस ला सकते हो। पैशन नहीं हुआ तो कुछ भी सक्सेस नहीं आएगा। दैट्स ऑल आई वांट टू से।
मनोज जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने यहाँ पर सभी बिजनेसमैन, सभी बैंकर्स जो आए हुए हैं, सभी को आइडियाज़ दिए कि किस तरह से अपने सेल्स बढ़ाएं, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Now our speaker for tonight is Mr. Aditya Vijay, who is the Zonal Business Manager of Maharashtra for Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Mr. Abhishek Jizu, who is the Vice President and Senior Regional Portfolio Manager of Kotak Mahindra Bank. I call upon stage our very own Mr. Akash Agrawal to give their introduction.
A very good evening to our esteemed audience, members of the committee, and our esteemed guests for the evening. Kotak Mahindra Bank has always been at the forefront of empowering businesses, particularly small and medium enterprises, through its innovative solutions and customer-centric approach, which has been highly and consistently appreciated by all our customers. Today, we are fortunate to have distinguished speakers from Kotak who will share their insights and expertise, helping us understand how strategic financial planning and tailored banking solutions can drive growth and success for businesses like ours. So it is a presentation which has been tailored for us. So I'm really grateful to all our speakers. Thank you so much for that. And their presence here is a testament to Kotak's commitment to being a trusted partner in our journey of entrepreneurship. I'll take a minute to introduce each of our speakers from Kotak. We have with us Mr. Kunal Bunk, who currently serves as the Senior Vice President of Investment Products at Kotak Mahindra Bank. He brings to us a profound understanding of investment strategies and has contributed significantly to the fields of mutual fund research and investment advisory. We have with us Mr. Aditya Vijay, who is the Zonal Business Manager of Elite West at Kotak Mahindra Bank, and his career has been marked by progressive leadership roles. His extensive experience in credit management and financial operations brings a unique perspective to the dynamics of banking and customer relations. I request Mr. Abhishek Zizu, who is the Vice President and Senior Regional Portfolio Manager, to start the presentation, give the audience a brief overview of what the presentation is going to be about and how we at Kotak Mahindra Bank can help small and medium enterprises grow and prosper. And I also welcome Mr. Prajeet Patil and Mr. Vikas Rupwade, who have joined us here from Kotak Mahindra Bank. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Yeah. And also, as a token of gratitude and appreciation to the audience for the opportunity to speak here and interact with such an esteemed audience, we at Kotak Mahindra Bank have a small token of appreciation which we have prepared for you. So I request all of you to please collect it before you leave for the day. Thank you so much. I request Mr. Abhishek to take the stage, please. So the mic is yours.
No problem. No problem.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving us. एक बारी वो start करके दिखाइए please. Let it start. So good evening, everyone. Uh, Thank you, first of all, for giving us an opportunity to present in this wonderful forum. My name is Abhishek. I'm in Kotak Mahindra Bank for last 16 and a half years. With over a total experience of about 20 years in the retail banking, I feel that I think it's been a blessings for me to work with Kotak Mahindra Bank in various departments, various roles across these all 16 and a half years. So thank you so much, Amit ji. Thank you so much for giving the presentation. It was a wonderful presentation to hear from all of you. Trust, yes, Amit ji told about trust. That is what we are, believe in Kotak Mahindra Bank also. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity, the motivation, how to do the sales, and we will definitely learn a lot of things from you in a separate session. I think in Kotak Mahindra Bank, our philosophy has been really, really great when we are talking about the 4 C's. We focus on 4 C's. First C, being the customer. So whatever we do right now in Kotak Mahindra Bank, everything and anything is centric to customer. So customer being the first and the foremost thing in our 4 C's. Second C is colleagues, which is our internal colleagues, internal customers. Without internal customers, we cannot do anything about, gathering, we cannot do anything in terms of getting the sales done or whatever you may say. Third, very, very important component of C is community. So when we are talking about community, we're not talking about only the Kotak community. We are talking about community as a whole in terms of regulators. We are talking about community as a whole in terms of overall universe, in terms of overall ecosystem. And the fourth and the very, very important factor is company. That is the fourth factor where we are talking about the overall growth of the company, Y&Y growth of the company, business top line, bottom line. So that is the fourth parameter. We strongly believe that these 4 parameters are the pillars of doing any kind of business. You do any kind of business, these are the 4 main pillars of doing particular business. Before starting anything, I think I should read out one email which was sent by our managing director, Mr. Ashok Vaswani, to every single employee in the organization. I just read it out for you. It says that in all my 35 years of working experience, one lesson stands out. If you get it right by customer, everything else will fall into place. If you don't get it right by customer, then nothing else matters. At Kotak, we are deeply determined to get it right by our customers. This is the message, this is the email which has been sent by Mr. Ashok Vaswani to all of us. So with this thought, it's very, very important. I think we'll take 1 more minute to introduce Kotak Mahindra Bank. So with in Kotak Mahindra Bank, we have got closely as a franchise, we have got closely over 18,065 branch networks pan India. With the we started our establishment in 1985 with the Kotak Group, and probably we were the first NBFCs at that point of time in 2003 when we got the banking license. So after that, I think there were next. After that, I think there were a couple of companies. So as a whole, we have got 7, 8 internal group companies which are 100% subsidiary of Kotak Mahindra Bank, and those includes companies like KMCC, which is Kotak Mahindra Capital Limited, which basically does a merchant banking arm of Kotak Mahindra Bank. We have got Kotak Securities, which is basically a Kotak broking arm of Kotak Mahindra Bank. We have got Kotak Prime, which is again an NBFC arm where we do car loans and all, which is again a kind of an NBFC of Kotak Mahindra Bank. And we have got various asset management companies where we do investments, where we do mutual fund investment, which is an AMC arm. So in at all, I mean, we have got Kotak Life Insurance Company, we have got Kotak General Insurance Company. So if you talk about pin to aeroplane, I think we do everything in Kotak Mahindra Bank. We don't have to go outside. Wherever probably 0.1% of the products, and these are all in-house products, these are our in-house brands. So wherever we don't have any kind of penetration, very, very small percentage, we do the tie-ups. But majority, 99.9% of the products are completely in-house. So without taking much of time, overall, if you see the banking is all about managing the funds. Banking is all about handling the funds in terms of the transaction banking platform. And banking is all about giving the funds in terms of lending. So our first presentation, let me introduce Mr. Kunal Bank. Kunal Bank is the Chief Investment Strategist at Kotak Mahindra Bank. So he will talk about basic of micro and macro economics, and he will talk about a little bit in terms of what better we can offer in terms of the differentiated products in investments. Over to you, Kunal. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Good evening, everyone. I'll be coming to the market strategy and the outlook that we have overall and what we believe in equity markets currently, and that is what we thought as a agenda that we will cover in this August audience. We also thought the in-house product that Abhishek mentioned, there is one such unique and product which we believe for every equity investor that they can look out for is something that we would speak about and introduce over here, and basis your interest, then we'll take it forward. So to start with market expectations that we have, basically today I'll sum up that market is in these four things: the Trumponomics, macro, flows, and earnings. Now in India, in the recent past, we have seen the macroeconomic numbers like GDP has not been that great. The expectation of 6.5% GDP, against that we saw 5.4% GDP, and that was a shocker. In fact, if you look at internally, the government spending was considered as one of the major reasons why the macroeconomic growth has been impacted significantly. On the other side, globally, after the recently concluded US elections, Trump and his related politics has sort of increased expectations of improving growth in US. At the same time, inflationary expectations have also risen up. And in the subsequent slides quickly, I'll show you how and where the data points are coming in. As a result of it, India has witnessed significant outflows post-September to the tune of $1.2 billion of outflow outside India. And also one of the factor was China also gave a lot of stimulus, which is where the flows diverted, and then to the US. With overall, the Q2 numbers in terms of corporate earnings for the NSE 500 kind of companies have not been that great as expected. And that also led to a sort of volatility in the equity markets. Broadly, what we are expecting going forward is markets are expected to be volatile. Probably the H1 GDP numbers that we saw was not as great. The H2 numbers will start picking up. Main reasons cited were government spending was a lackluster, which will improve subsequently. Government spending was also due to elections, union elections, and subsequently also because of a monsoon being extended further. But there would be resumption of government spending. So far, of the entire capex announcement that government has made in the budgetary session was roughly around 11.11 lakh crores, out of which 40% has been spent by the government in capital expenditure. Which means government and this figure is till October, which means government, if they have to spend further, they have to spend at a rate of 1 lakh crore every single month. Now that being higher, we still believe that that government will start pushing it because there is no near-term election fear for the government of India overall. So from that perspective, we see a pickup in the H2 GDP numbers. Broadly, we also expect that Q3 earnings may also not be that great in the market overall, and therefore the earnings projection for this financial year is now going down into single digit. So broadly, from a valuation point of view, while Nifty has corrected and has reached to the 5-year or long-term average, mid and small cap is something where we have a great amount of concern, and we believe volatility to continue in the market. In such a situation, we are currently recommending exposure or significant exposure of investors' money into large cap stocks or funds, uh, and, uh, and to the tune of 75 to 80% into large cap segment, and the remaining 25 to 30% is where we are expecting it to go into. Sorry, 20 to 25% is where we are expecting it to go into mid and small cap segment. Mid and small cap segment looks very frothy. So from a deployment point of view, one could use a staggered entry in the market. Uh, Given the fact that with volatility increasing, there would be lot many touch points to enter into that segment. And that is where our focus is on in the equity markets. Now, on a similar lines, and as what Abhishek mentioned, we have curated a product. I will not take you through that product in detail, but I'll just give you a basis of that, and then basis your interest, we can have a detailed discussion over there. Uh, we have launched a product somewhere in July 2023 called as Kotak Iconic product. Now, Kotak is known for asset allocation. You have seen our group companies. We have been a financial conglomerate for more than now 3 decades. We understand financial engineering, curation of financial products really well, and that is where we have mastered our art. We have developed in-house synergies right from Kotak AMC to Kotak General Insurance to Kotak Life Insurance and Kotak Alternate Asset Managers Limited, which is our AIF arm. And thereby we try to curate or bring in interesting products which can do it. We would have all we all know what is fund of funds, which invest into multiple funds. But what we have designed is a fund of PMSs, given the fact that concentrated exotic strategies nowadays is becoming more popular. But the ticket size in this segment is very high. And that is, it starts with 50 lakh rupees of ticket size. Now, in order to diversify your portfolio in a PMS and in about to diversify into 5 PMSs, we have to spend or invest 2.5 crores in order to have 5 PMSs. We have created this AIF strategy where these marquee PMSs houses can be housed in, and these 5 PMSs can be bought in just 1 crore of ticket size, as AIF's ticket size is 1 crore. Not only that, there are a couple of other strategies also through which we manage the risk, which are typically the momentum strategy and the low vol strategy. And these strategies typically are passive strategies which are used to manage risk in the portfolio. What we are saying typically over here is we try to take risk through concentrated strategies like PMSs, and these are marquee PMSs houses. And then we try to manage risk through these passive strategies, which are either using some factors like momentum in the market or volatility in the market. So whenever we find that risk off or volatility is expected to increase in the market, we try to increase the exposure into low vol funds where these stocks are there which are low on volatility or have low volatility. And whenever we find that the market's momentum is now improving upon, there are signs of this thing, we try to take risk on through these passive strategies. The PMS strategies basically are onboarded on the platform as advisors. They give the model portfolio, and basis that model portfolio, the fund manager replicates the portfolio. So it is akin that you are giving almost a similar allocation as what you are doing to PMSs in the portfolio. Now Kotak, with its 20 years of experience into investment markets, have learned this process of identifying managers which are better, and therefore they have been able to identify managers like NAM, which is one of the biggest PMS houses in the country, operating into PMS zone for last 30 years. I've identified White Oak, which is a Prashant Khemka managed company. Prashant Khemka was with Goldman Sachs for 17 years managing emerging market money and India strategy, and he has his own PMS. He overall manages $2.5 billion of advisory money. Uh, it also invests into Unify, which is a South India-based mid-cap and small-cap oriented company. ValueQuest, which is a North India-based PMS house. Again, a boutique firm. And Abacus, which is a Sunil Singhania fund. Now, everybody would have heard the name of the fund called as Reliance Small Cap, Reliance Growth Fund. Sunil Singhania was the fund manager over there, and 4 years back, he left Reliance Mutual Fund and started his own PMS venture as a boutique firm, and now manages more than 4,000 crores of assets under management in his PMS and AI. So we have these 5 marquee managers into the portfolio, and as I told you, the remaining 40 to 50% of the money goes into momentum, low volatility, and tactical call in BFSI. We particularly have a very optimism on BFSI sector. In general, if we dissect the NSE 500 earnings, we have seen that banking and financial services earnings growth, revenue growth has been 15%, and overall their PAT has increased by 15% YOY. But non-BFSI sector has been into single-digit number, with the PAT has been either flattish or negative. From that perspective, we have a very positive view on BFSI, and therefore the tactical view on BFSI sector. So this is broadly on the markets and the products that we are favoring right now. I'll again hand over the call to Abhishek to take it forward.
Thank you so much, Kunal. So coming quickly on the business banking front, so I believe that majority of you would be the business owners. So one, because I practically don't like so many presentations, so let me not go into the presentation mode. Let me go into the discussion mode. So one thing before we go to the discussion mode, because Kotak does everything in terms of transaction banking platform, whether it is bulk payments or whether it is taxation or whatever. I mean, we do everything in terms of the payment platform. We do everything in terms of collection platform. Collection platform means the different modes of collection for your businesses. But one very, very important thing from the product which we had launched for the current account business owners is that what we have identified that, majority of the time that, there are funds which come to the business account, and these particular funds are lying idle. So normally what you do is you normally tend to invest that particular fund probably in the liquid fund. There is a time lag on that particular thing, transaction goes and all. So we have, considering this particular fact, we launched long back, I think 15 years back, we launched the fund called as, not the fund, we launched the platform called as Active Money. So Active Money is basically an interest bearing current account. So current account having the interest component. So we relaunched this particular Active Money probably 1.5 years back. It does nothing but, whatever money comes in your current account, it actually automatically goes towards a fixed deposit of 6 months, wherein you earn an interest of 7%. So it's an automatic thing, and whenever you issue any kind of check, whenever you do some kind of an RTGS, NEFT, automatically the funds are being pulled out from your fixed deposit account, and your checks and RTGS and NEFT are honored. So it's an efficient way of managing your treasury in the short term period. Rather than, you can obviously have an option of putting money into the liquid funds and all, but then it's a very, very efficient way of managing your funds beyond 7 days, because nobody gives you interest on this particular term deposits for 6 days or so. So beyond 7 days, you earn an interest of 7% on this particular, idle funds in your current account. It's a fantastic product, and Kotak Mahindra Bank does it very, very proactively in all the business accounts wherever it is needed. So I would hand over the mic to Aditya Vijay. Aditya Vijay handles our working capital business. So he will discuss about the working capital products in short. So without taking much of time, Aditya.
Good evening to everyone. Unfortunately, my slot is the last one. and it's a dinner time, I think, for all. Coming quickly to the point, I was listening to Amitji, and he has given a wonderful plan for the Bombay and all. And being a Marwadi, so an idea pop up in my mind कि फ्लैट बनाया रेमंड ने लिया आपने फाइनेंस कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक से. And on behalf of bank, to the members of the association, we would like to declare zero processing fee for the home loan. Okay. So this is that. See, I'm with the bank for the last 18 years. Academics, I'm a chartered accountant. If I start saying for the bank, it will take many hours. So I'll just give you a brief what we are doing. So we are managing the working capital requirement for the customers with all sort of product. In today's world, the most important thing is not the interest rate or is not the charges. It is the how your money is getting flow, in how much time you are getting or making the payment. That really saves the cost. So this thing with our technology, we manage that piece with related to your foreign exchange transaction, domestic transaction, with the ease of the transaction across the world wherever you are. This is the USP we have created along with the lending platform. My colleague Abhishek has taken the point for community. I'll just give you the example about the Kotak, what exactly, one of the example, what exactly we are doing the community for the community. We have a CSR, and in that CSR we have tie-up with IIT. And we conduct energy audit for those having an annual energy bill of 2 crore and above in a year. If your energy bill is about 2 crore in a year, you write a mail to me. I'll introduce for the energy audit. And in last financial year, with that CSR, we have saved almost 7 crores for the customer as well as those who are paying the high energy bill. This is the saving which we have created that has been done for the community. Rather than taking more time, I'll just say, if you allow one-to-one meeting to my team or my colleague, we'll give you the complete banking solution apart from the limit also, or how you can manage or can use the right working capital product or right asset product and save your cost. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In fact, if you have any questions pertaining to, overseas investment, if you have any questions pertaining to FDIs or ECBs, so we have got a dedicated team who handles these particular transactions. We are a part of, in fact, I am a part of the capital market team also. So we handle special purpose accounts also with respect to, share capital accounts. So if you have any questions pertaining to current account technically तो कुछ होता नहीं है, खाता ही होता है, ठीक है? But there are a lot of different patterns on current account. If you have anything pertaining to, if you give us a time, one-to-one, we can discuss with you and we can provide you the solution. We believe in, as rightly said by Aditya, we believe in providing the solution. So business automatically comes. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry? So we have set up our team in Delhi office who does the transactions based on rupees. So for ration transactions. So we have a setup in Delhi for all those transactions. Sorry? Can you switch it off, please, if you don't mind? So that I think the specialist team would be better in. So if you can give your number, so I will ask the advisor to give you a call. Any other question? Aditya? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Sure.
Hello. You mentioned about the active current account.
Yes.
And mentioned ki, the money will transfer into FD.
Yes.
And it will burn earn 7%. But how if you cut the check?
Yes.
So the how it will be the
So
yeah.
So as per RBI mandate, let me tell you, as per RBI mandate, we are not supposed to give any kind of interest on current accounts, right?
Yes.
So the only instrument which is left is fixed deposits. Now, when you're keeping a standalone fixed deposit, so it doesn't give you the flexibility of, you know, honoring the checks or honoring the RTGS at real time basis. When we are talking about active money, हम क्या करते हैं उसमें एक्टिव मनी में जो आपका अमाउंट होता है वो ऑटोमेटिकली फिक्स डिपॉजिट में चला जाता है, ठीक है, फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ 6 months. बट this 6 months is not fixed 6 months. There are different tenures.
But
Okay.
in that case, the interest rate will vary, na?
Interest
So
rate will
how
vary.
to compare with the liquid? Liquid we are getting about 6.5% now.
Correct. So that is the reason I said
Yeah.
180 days is the tenure for which we give 7% interest. So whenever the money is lying idle for some amount of time, you know that you have a business requirement and all, and it's flexible. So automatically you get 7% on 180 days fixed deposit. If you're talking about 7 days or 20 days fixed deposit, obviously the rate of interest would be different.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing you mentioned, somebody mentioned about the those PMS fund, 5 PMS in one AIF.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
you mentioned about the minimum limit is 1 crore. So how is the expense ratio in that, and how is the the yield in those funds? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't show you the presentation. The returns over the last 1 year in that fund, pre-tax is 27.4% versus, and there has been an outperformance of 7% to Nifty 50. As far as expenses are concerned, the TER of the fund is 2% per annum. So it is fixed. There is no performance sharing fee apart from that. So it's 2% and 27% returns over the last 1 year. The fund had started in July 2023. Since inception, the fund has, the first series has already been closed. This is the second series which has started. The second series, the first series performance, since inception, the performance overall is roughly around 25%, and there has been an outperformance of 5% in general. If you are interested, we can send you the presentation, and we can also arrange the conversation with the investment team.
Thank you. I would just like to take 1 minute and just like to have 2 questions basically for Kotak. Definitely I would like to connect. मैं अपना आपको introduce करना चाहता हूँ सबसे पहले.
Yes.
और जैसे अमित सर ने बताया और मनोज सर ने भी बताया, ये एक समय पे मैं एक छोटा स्टार्टअप हूँ and I have come from Calcutta and now to Mumbai. अपना comfort level छोड़ के मैं यहाँ पर आया हूँ. और जो स्ट्रगल की बात हम अमित सर से सुन रहे थे कि कैश फ्लो बंद हो गया था और उसके बाद बहुत सारी दिक्कतें हैं कोविड में, तो उसके एक मारा मैं भी हूँ और बहुत सारे लोग भी हैं इनफैक्ट, बट अपने बिजनेस को सर्वाइव बहुत तरीके से किया. इट्स अ जनरल क्वेश्चन, प्लीज डोंट टेक मी रॉन्ग. हम सब मारवाड़ी समाज से हैं और अग्रवाल समाज से, तो मैं लिबर्टी ले रहा हूँ आप सब से. आप सब मेरे से बहुत सीनियर है, बहुत एज में एंड एक्सपीरियंस में भी. तो अपने आप को सर्वाइव करने के लिए हमने एक छोटा स्टार्टअप चालू किया. वो स्टार्टअप काफ़ी हद तक सक्सेसफुल रहा, लेकिन बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस रहे. मैं फिर से अपने अग्रवाल समाज में आया हूँ. जैसे कहा ना, हम अपने समाज से मांगना सीखें. हम बाहर जा रहे हैं, दूसरों के पास जा रहे हैं, पर हमको हैंड होल्डिंग नहीं मिलता है. एक्चुअली नहीं मिलता वो हैंड होल्डिंग. इट कैन बी बैंक, इट कैन बी अदर फोरम्स. आई एम नॉट टेकिंग एनी पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री, एंड दिस क्वेश्चन नॉट ओनली टू यू सर, बट टू द इंटायर फर्टिनिटी. मैं पूरी फर्टिनिटी की बात कर रहा हूँ. मैं एक मिडिल हाई क्लास फैमिली को बिलोंग करता हूँ, जहाँ पे स्टील इंडस्ट्री से हम स्टील की बात करते हैं. मैन्युफैक्चरर है कलकत्ता में. कलकत्ता में तो बंगाल में लोग जानते हैं, लोहा में और बाकी चीज़ों में कंस्ट्रक्शन से रिलेटेड हम बात करते हैं. तो करते करते हम आई जस्ट केम आउट ऑफ माई स्टील इंडस्ट्री बिजनेस, फैक्ट्री था हमारा, एंड देन आई स्टार्टेड माई स्टार्टअप. स्टार्टअप बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. हम आटा के बदले दाल, दाल के बदले चीनी जैसे होता था पुराने ज़माने में. कैश फ्लो नहीं मिलता है बैंक से सर. क्या होता है ना, वो हमारे पास में एक वो पोर्टफोलियो नहीं होता है, बैलेंस शीट्स नहीं होते हैं, मदर पेरेंट कंपनी नहीं होता, टर्नओवर नहीं होता, नेट प्रॉफिट नहीं होता है. तो फिर पैसे कैसे मिलेंगे एक स्टार्टअप को अपना बिजनेस को ग्रो करने के लिए, आइडियाज़ के लिए. देयर आर सो मेनी चैलेंज टू वैलिडेट योरसेल्फ, आपके प्रोडक्ट के, आपके स्टार्टअप्स को. अपने आप को सर्वाइव करने के लिए मैं कलकत्ता से बॉम्बे आया जस्ट आफ्टर कोविड. कंफर्ट लेवल छोड़ के अपनी फैमिली, अपने बेटे को लेकर, थैंक्स टू विवेक भाई मुझे इन्वाइट करने के लिए, जो अग्रवाल समाज के मेंबर हूँ. और आज शायद मुझे भी बनना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये फैसिलिटी मुझसे छूट रही है, मुझे खुद को नहीं पता. काम बहुत किया बंगाल में, कलकत्ता में. अब बॉम्बे आया और कंफर्ट लेवल से बाहर निकल के कि यहाँ फंड मिलेगा, फाइनेंसिस हाउस मिलेंगे और मेरा स्टार्टअप को साथ देगा. पर वो कहीं ना कहीं हम छूट रहे हैं. कहीं ना कहीं वो हैंड होल्डिंग नहीं हो पा रही, क्यों नहीं हो पा रही मुझे नहीं पता, राइट कनेक्ट क्यों नहीं मिल पा रहा। पर जब मैंने बाटर का बिजनेस शुरू किया, बाटर सब पुराने जमाने सब जानते हैं, घर में होता था ना, नीचे बर्तन वाली आ रही है तो आप उसको साड़ी दे रहे हो, बदले में आप उससे बर्तन ले रहे हो, करेक्ट। उसी तरीके से अभी मोदी जी ने अभी चावल दिया और ऑयल का भी काफ़ी बड़ा B2B बिजनेस हुआ। तो ये हर स्तर में हो रहा है ये बाटर बिजनेस, लेकिन कहीं पे भी वो सपोर्ट हमको नहीं मिल पाया। तो मेरा लास्ट बस इसको समअप करना चाहूँगा, बहुत टाइम, आई नो इट्स ऑलरेडी 8:30, बहुत नहीं है, पर हम जैसे लोगों के लिए, हम जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल बैलेंस शीट नहीं है, पॉजिटिव है, हमने मार खाया, हमने बिजनेस किया और कम्युनिटी के साथ में और वहाँ लॉसेस किए, 70-80 लाख 2-2 करोड़ रुपए का टर्नओवर है। जीएसटी बचाने के लिए तो जीएसटी उस पर पे करना पड़ेगा, रिवर्स मार के लॉसेस को बुक्स में लेकर आ रहे हैं, पर जब बैंक के पास जाते हैं तो फंडिंग नहीं मिलती। आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट जनरल बैंक, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट पर्टिकुलर वन बैंक, बट टॉकिंग अबाउट द फर्टिनिटी, तो वो नहीं मिल पाता है हमको। स्टार्टअप्स के पास, स्टार्टअप जाते हैं कोई फोरम में तो उनको सीड फंडिंग नहीं मिल पाता है। तो हम जैसे स्टार्टअप्स लोग के लिए फिर क्या क्या वो सॉल्यूशन है? जस्ट ये क्वेश्चन है अमित सर, अगर आपका भी बहुत या हमारे साथ मनोज सर हैं, आप है सर, एनीबॉडी कैन आंसर दिस एंड वी कैन टेक इट फॉरवर्ड कि हम जैसे लोग कैसे सर्वाइव करें, क्योंकि 9 साल सर्वाइव कर रहे हैं हम, और कोशिश करें कुछ ना कुछ काम करके इसको आगे लेके जाना। इमोशनली नहीं होना है, सर ने अभी बताया कि इमोशनली नहीं होना है, हमें बाहर भी निकलना है, लेकिन स्टिल ये क्वेश्चन मेरे को कि हम जैसे लोग कैसे सर्वाइव करें। थैंक यू
Sir, two important things which comes to my mind. One is that we have started, in fact, last year we started one team which is called as New Age Banking Team. So this team is basically focused on startups. So one is that they are basically funding the fintech startups. They're basically funding the NBFC fintech startups also. So obviously, there is a process of giving the money to the startup, because ultimately it's an idea which needs to be run through. So that is one thing which we have started. It was not earlier. So, and second, very very important. I'm not talking about the liability part. Oh, current account. We have already started with the current account for startups. Understanding the fact that for startup, because bank account if you have to open a bank account in any of the banks, you have to maintain certain kind of balances in the account, so that you're not charged non-maintenance balances. So looking into this particular startup community, we understand that at least 12 months of time frame, they also need to fly off. They also need some kind of an hand holding. So for that, we made this particular startup account, wherein you're not charged for any kind of services in terms of your having an account with us. So it is not a zero balance account. Let me tell you, there is nothing, no free lunches in the market. Let me be very, very clear. It's not a zero balance account. It is basically, we are giving you a platform to fly off. You put your idea into place and you bank with us, and whenever you get any kind of funding from the VC market or from kind of debt market, so you can just fly off. Third thing is that we have recently started, in fact 2 days back or 3 days back, we have started and we have done a tie-up with, as rightly said by Aditya Bhai, we have done a tie-up with IITs, okay, wherein we are doing this as a part of CSR activity, and if you want, we can share the link also. This particular first activity or event is happening in Hyderabad, followed by Jodhpur, and then Pune and other markets, wherein you have to give your ideas, you have to register yourself, you have to give your ideas, and those particular ideas will be run through, there's a committee obviously, that will be run through that particular committee, and if at all it is flyable, so obviously there is a kind of a small amount of funding which can be done. That is again an initiative which is being started as a part of CSR activity. So we also understand India being, I think sir was talking about India being, a startup hub, especially Bangalore, especially Mumbai, especially Pune, Delhi. So it's a startup hub. So we also think that we should also be a part of the community and we should also contribute. So I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूँगा, क्वेश्चन नहीं, जस्ट जैसे कि आप सब लोग बेस्ट हैं यहाँ पर कोटक के,
जी सर,
और अभी कुछ मंथ्स बैक में कुछ न्यूज़ आने पर कोटक के शेयर काफ़ी नीचे आ गए थे
जी,
तो इंटरनल चाहिए आपसे, जबकि फंडामेंटल्स कोटक की काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग है, कुछ भी देखें हम फंडामेंटल सारे स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं, तो मुझे तो केवल ये चाहिए, मैंने उस समय डाउन्स में शेयर खरीद लिए थे, कब बढ़ने वाले इंटरनल आप बताइएगा।
मैं आपको एक चीज़ बता सकता हूँ, I'm not no one to talk about the shares, but आपको एक चीज़ बता सकता हूँ, मिस्टर उदय कोटक,
एक क्वेश्चन बस ये कि डाउन क्यों हुए, क्या न्यूज़ थी उसकी वजह से डाउन हुए और कब अब जाने वाले हैं?
न्यूज़ तो सर कुछ भी हो सकती है. Down, I think investment strategists would talk about that. But one thing, before I hand over the mic to him in terms of telling you, but as I told you, I am from 16 and a half years in Kotak. He's from 18 years in Kotak, and I think you're also from a decent, sorry, 13 years in Kotak. We have seen Kotak from those days when I was signing a muster, okay, to this particular stage, and people were running to sign the muster and all. There was no technology, there were no nothing. So we were in those kind of stages. But when we are talking about when Uday Kotak sir stepped down and Mr. Ashok Vaswani sir took over as an MD, so that was the change which we wanted to bring in Kotak. So Mr. Ashok Vaswani, one of the main pillars right now. Number two, Mr. Milind Nagnur, who came to Kotak and joined us as a CTO. He was there as a part of a big conglomerate in United States. Mr. What is the name? Rohit Basin. He joined us as a chief marketing officer last year. He joined us from Unilever. Okay. And right now, Mr. Basin is heading proposition. He is heading NRI business. He is heading business banking, and he's heading the marketing for the entire group. And believe me, we are creating and we are going. I've done design thinking course from IIMs. So in design thinking, the important aspect was empathy with the customer and understand customer well. Accordingly, you can fix the links. So that is exactly what we are doing over here. We are just trying to curate things and try to bring the proposition to the customer. And we got one gentleman from Amazon. He was 18 years in Amazon, and he's there as a customer-centric head. So we can see a lot of changes happening inside Kotak, which you can't see. You might, I don't know whether some of you might be already banking with Kotak, and you might complain about Kotak net banking system and going down frequently. It's not about going down frequently. We are doing continuous changes in the net banking system and we're coming up with 2.0 version of it. So there are a lot of changes which are happening inside Kotak, and we are very, very confident that the prices will definitely go a decent side. You want to talk about anything?
There is nothing internal. There is आज के ज़माने में तो वैसे भी information age काफ़ी prominent है. हम छींकते भी हैं तो सामने पता चल जाता है. So there is nothing hidden. There is nothing this thing. Fundamentals are good. In terms of capital adequacy of the bank is concerned, it is better. NPL's asset quality is far more superior. What issue happened a few months back was the RBI embargo on opening new digital accounts as well as new credit card sales. And that created impact because in our business, unsecured loan is the most priciest one. So it has got the highest interest rate. So credit card agar business agar band hota hai, to obviously new customers nahi aate, new sales nahi hota, so it creates an impact, and which is why the stock prices went down. Plus, obviously, Kotak has something called as 811 accounts, which is completely digital onboarding of savings account by the customer. Like something we do lot of digital initiative for even we have a Kotak Biz account, which is a online business account, business banking account for people who want to open online accounts. So in this times, that 811 accounts got impacted because of the RBI embargo, and that is what. And we are expecting. So there are continuous audits which are happening around from the RBI side. So once they put the embargo, they also do continuous audits, monitoring as to how the systems have performed and all those things. And that is what is now expected sooner to end. We don't know exactly the date, but yes, it may sooner end, and obviously then you might see the prices again going back or this thing. But one thing is for sure, that even if there is an embargo on opening accounts, new accounts, or this thing through digital means, the process is still on. You every morning you wake up, you go open the accounts, you get business out of it. There's a lot of focus, and as what Abhishek mentioned, on customers, and all the strategies are evolving on customers. So from product sales to customer, there is a transition which is happening around. And this thing you will see. So all global entities that we have seen who have prospered over so many years have been more centric to customers. And if customers don't do this, and which is where this is the first C in our 4 Cs philosophy, which Mr. Vaswani, the new MD, has tabled around. So all of us have to focus upon on these 4 Cs, and that is where the bank is transiting. So you will see a lot more changes, lot more digital activity going forward from Kotak Mahindra Bank side. And all we can say is that we are passionate bankers and we try to curate things for our customers. That is what we are doing. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
See, this is not related to Kotak alone, but most of the private banks. You people say we are all customer centric, but I find your relationship managers are changing every 6 months. This is the worst thing you can do to customer. Every 6 months new guy comes, I'm your relationship manager. By the time you develop relation, he's changed. So you guys are all 15, 18, 19 years in Kotak Bank. I'm amazed. That means definitely you are loving the bank, you're doing a great amount of work. But why don't you transmit that on the level of the relationship manager? Why पुराने ज़माने में nationalized bank में वो बंदा साला पूरी जिंदगी भर वहाँ रहता था, वो मैनेजर हमारे बच्चे कितने हैं, शादी कब है, बर्थ डेट कब है, एनिवर्सरी है, वो सब जानता था. अभी तो ऐसी दुनिया बदल गई है.
नहीं सर आप
नहीं मेरा सी पॉइंट मैं तो this is the one I asked the top management of HDFC also. I said, everything is good in your bank, but the worst is this, and that is the first interaction with me as a customer. आप लोग उन लोगों को इंसेंटिवाइज करके बॉन्ड क्यों नहीं साइन करते हो कि 3 साल 5 साल रहेगा, उसको इंसेंटिवाइज करो, उसको हैंड होल्डिंग करो, उसको कैरियर अपॉर्चुनिटी दो, लेकिन वो बंदा हमें 5 साल तक दिखना चाहिए. 6 महीने बदलने वाला काम मुझे पसंद नहीं है.
नहीं एब्सोल्युटली सर, आई एम विथ यू. एंड मनोज जी ने भी इस बारे में जिक्र किया था कि बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री इज स्ट्रगलिंग विद द काइंड ऑफ एट्रिशन लेवल दैट वी आर सीइंग इन ऑलमोस्ट 45% वाज द फिगर दैट यू हैव कोटेड, and with certain banks it is even more higher. And we are seeing this day in day out, the new people in the work who are joining in the workforce, which are the typical RM community that we talk about, are actually they are just even college pass out in most of the cases. वो काम करते हैं, सैलरीज कम होती है, मार्केट ओपन है, वहाँ पे कोई अच्छा सैलरी देने की कोशिश करता है और वो चले जाते हैं. दिस इज व्हाट लीड्स टू एट्रिशन. हाउ वी आर ट्राइंग टू कैप्चर इज we can't change this industry. This is like a telecom kind of movement कि आज भारतीय एयरटेल ये सैलरी दे रहा है, कल जियो ये सैलरी देगा, तो वो वहाँ पे चला जाएगा एंड ही विल ट्राई टू अर्न एंड देन ही विल ट्राई टू, या कोई डेजिग्नेशन दे देगा उसको कि भाई आ जाओ मेरे यहाँ, मैं तुम्हें एरिया मैनेजर बना देता हूँ, तो वो एरिया मैनेजर बन जाएगा या BM बन जाएगा. एंड दैट इज हाउ एट्रिशन लेवल्स आर इम्पैक्टेड. What we are trying to develop, at least in various products, we are trying to create an automated solution. जैसे for example investments में हमने to create this, to resolve this issue, we have created portfolios on PMS platform which invest into mutual funds. There is a fund manager who is at the heart of the market, who understands, who gets a lot of information, and he applies that information and invests into mutual funds. All what you need to do is you need to invest in that PMS. Every 6 months this fund manager will also talk to the customer, do a portfolio review with you, and accordingly you will keep track of your portfolio, and he will do continuous rebalancing, which even the RM is not equipped to do it. There is one solution, Iconic, which I just discussed about. Again, it's an automated kind of solution where you just fill it, forget it, shut it kind of. जो हीरो होंडा का हम लोग ऐड देखते थे, स्प्लेंडर का, वो उसी समय के हिसाब से बनाया गया है. But you're right, this is a pain area because servicing starts from the relationship manager, the branch manager. And the other thing that we are introducing is for all those, with this transition phase, after understanding all this thing, we are creating a model where a customer is being met by at least the elite customers, the affluent customers are being met by not only the relationship manager, the branch manager, and the area manager is also in touch with this customer, so that you have all 3 layers of people. Typically an area manager does not change very often, a relationship manager changes, branch manager also do not change very often. So at least you have 3 levels of people. Wherever you are stuck, at least you can talk to these people, and this is how we are trying to arrest things for the customers. For retail customers, there are a lot of digital initiatives, DIY kind of activities that we are doing it so that customers do not have to go to branch and depend on the RM. That is how we are trying to
मैं
address it.
सबसे मिलते हैं, सब लेयर में सब मिलने आते हैं, वो बात ठीक है, बट मैं आपको एक क्लू देना चाहता हूँ. आप ये 4 C's में, ये पहले C में यदि आप इंट्रोड्यूस करोगे कि कोटक इज द ओनली बैंक जहाँ रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर 3 साल तक चेंज नहीं होता है, आपको बिजनेस डबल हो जाएगा.
सर एक चीज मैं ऐड करना चाहूँगा. यू हिट द राइट पॉइंट. You hit the right point, and our Deputy Managing Director Shanti Kambaram, along with the HR heads and along with Ashok Vashali.
Shanti was with me in Sydenham College.
Wonderful, wonderful. So believe me, when we see this kind of an attrition which is going on, it's not about the culture, or it's not about anything else. It's about everybody wants to take a horizontal leap rather than going for a vertical leap. That is number one. So we have identified these kind of things, and believe me, there are multiple employee engagement activities going on inside the Kotak. One of the initiative which we took last year, okay, it's not about the relationship managers only, it's about the leadership team also, it's about the middle layer also. So one of the very, very important initiative which we took last year was educating the employees at a certain grade, which obviously will come down to the last leg also, educating these particular employees at a certain grade and probably sponsoring them for a next level education, which includes your IIMs, which includes other very, very recognized bodies. So this will ensure that learning curve is continuously going. And whenever you are there on a learning curve, that particular employee will not leave you. So why we are here in Kotak Mahindra Bank, it's not because of the money. It's because of the learning curve. It's because of the ethics. It's because of this particular culture. We have been there. As a relationship manager, I was also a relationship manager. He was also a relationship manager. He was also we've all grown grounded. At one point of time, when I started my career in American Express, I was that company was the first company when I started my career as an American Express. I was selling the cards at the petrol pump. So it doesn't matter. I think the learning curve is extremely important for any of the employee who's there. Money doesn't, it doesn't matter. When your learning curve is important. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
एक तो पुराना उसका एम्प्लॉय और पुराना उसका दोस्त. यदि जिसके दोनों हैं तो वो आदमी बहुत अच्छा है.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Any other question? Thank you. Thank you.
थैंक्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू टू कम हियर. और हमारे सभी जो पैनल्स पर विद्वान लोग आए थे, मैं विद्वान ही कहूँगा, उनको सुनने के लिए, समझने के लिए और क्वेश्चन आंसर्स करने के लिए. रियली हमने आपसे, अमित जी, मनोज जी और कोटक से बहुत कुछ सीखा और इसको अप्लाई करने की कोशिश करेंगे. आप सबके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और हमारे सभी साथियों के लिए, अखिल भारतीय अग्रवाल कम्युनिटी के लिए, साथियों के लिए, सभी के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप सब लोग आए. और मेरा अनुरोध आपसे कि यदि आप में से जो भी हमारे अखिल भारतीय अग्रवाल सम्मेलन के मेंबर नहीं हो तो वो मेंबर बने. उसके लिए आप मुझसे या गिरीश जी से संपर्क कर सकते हैं. थैंक यू.